My Diamine Inkvent Calendar just arrived and I can't wait to open it and show you all the wonderful colors inside. But before we do, let's go over a couple of details about it so you know what to expect. So first of all, it's a $120 advent calendar, which holds 24 bottles of 12 milliliter ink. They're going to be plastic bottles, and then the last day, the 25th day, you get a 30 milliliter bottle. Now, I did hear from somebody that the color of the advent indicates what color range that last bottle is going to be. I don't know if that's true because last year was my very first year opening one of these, so we'll have to see together. In addition to that, there are 10 different ink types that you can find in this calendar. So you have standard inks, you have sheen, you have extreme sheen, scented, shimmer, shimmer and sheen, chameleon, pigment, pigment shimmer, and pigment chameleon. Now the pigment inks look to be essentially what they have for their forever inks. These are supposed to be light, fast, permanent, and waterproof, which I think is all the criteria for the forever inks. Let me know if that's different because I'm not 100% positive. Even the pigmented shimmer and sheen inks are that. So I'm super excited to see what they have in that category. We'll go over my thoughts and value at the very end of the video, but let's get to opening and swatching these. This is going to be a spoiler video, so I will be opening every box and swatching every ink. So I don't want to ruin it for anybody. If you don't want to see that, please come back later or whatever you need to do. So with all of that, let's get into this. Just to walk you through how I'm going to be doing my swatches, it's going to be similar to this, though not exact. I'm going to do a swatch of the ink here with my Kakamori dip nib, and then we'll write out the name of the ink using that same nib and what day it was, what type of ink, and all of that, so that you can see as many of them together as possible. I am doing this in my Ironful notebook. So that's the type of paper we're working with. It reacts very similar to the traditional Tomoe River paper, so you should see a lot of the same qualities. Let's unbox our first ink, right? All right, day one is right up here. And I know I've seen most people just slip it out the top, but I like opening the doors. So day one looks to be almost the same color as the calendar, actually. So this is our standard size bottle that we'll be getting in here. This is Celestial Skies. It is a shimmer ink. Ooh, it looks like it's got green shimmer in it. So let's go. These are kind of challenging for me to open up. It was my biggest annoyance last year because there is no perforation on the plastic. I really wish they would do that just to make it a little bit easier to open. I do have my kind of pointy tweezers. These seemed to work last year, so we're going to give it a shot this year, and hopefully I don't stab myself. We're going to try. It does look like it's going to be very similar to what the color on the label looks like. Oh, wow. That is so pretty. Okay, so let's go a little further. I want a bigger swatch. So this is Celestial. Skies. And I'm going to put below it day one, and this was, I think it just said shimmer. Yes. And we'll do a line here. And we'll just do a little jewel there too. Oh, I really like that. The shimmer that's coming out is gold, and it almost looks like it might have a little bit of a sheen to it, but we'll have to wait for it to dry first. I will do close-ups at the very end once everything is dry, just so that we can see everything all together. Sorry, I had to take a moment to write out my numbers. I like to put these little tags on the top to tell me what number they are in the calendar. As that was happening, this has dried a little bit, so you can see that there's a little bit of a red sheen and a really nice gold shimmer to this one with that teal undertone. It reminds me a lot of Emerald of Chivor, which is a very popular ink, although I think the shimmer load is bigger on this one. All right, on to day 2, which is up here in the corner. Ooh, purple. I like that. So we're starting off really strong. I love teals and purples and really vibrant colors. So this one is called Energy, and it is a sheening ink. So what color do we think goes really well with purple for a sheen? Because I'm trying to think. I haven't seen very many purple sheening inks. Maybe with black. So with sheens, you don't have to worry as much, I think, about tipping it and making sure you're integrating everything. But I always do a couple of times just because I know it's a particle thing. And I have to imagine the particles sink, but I don't know. If you guys know, let me know. Oh, really deep purple. So pretty. And I like the name, Energy. Although it makes me think of like a superstar, like a hero, like, you know, like Marvel, like the superheroes. Oh, I think it is green that's coming out, but I'm not positive. So this is day 2, and we are a sheen. That's going to be cool. All right, on to day 3, which is down here. I love how they do the numbers. I think they just reuse the packaging each year and use a different background color, but I'm not positive. I love the design that they have though. Carousel? So a really bright red, and this one is a pigment ink. So this should be super vibrant. Now, traditionally, pigmented inks weren't meant to go in fountain pens. You needed a calligraphy pen or something, or a dip pen to use because the particles were too large in order for it to be used in a traditional pen without clogging it up. Diamine this last year came out with these forever inks with the pigment, where the pigment particles are smaller, so it doesn't cause the issues, or I haven't tried it, but it's not supposed to clog up traditional fountain pens. So let's see how it's really like an orangey red almost. So let's see. You can see how much it is there on the nib. Okay. Oh yeah, very, very vibrant. So I'm not upset about the name or anything. I'm just like, how do we get Carousel? Is this supposed to be the Carousel horse? Like, how do we get there? Day 3. Pigment. I did also find it interesting that there is one ink type that they used last year that I didn't see in the list for this year, which was the Starbright inks, which I really loved, which were kind of like shimmer to the next level, like they're extreme sheens. So it's interesting to me that they decided to take those off. But then again, there's 10 types, and with only 25 spots, you have to make some cuts. They have so many different types of ink. It's one of the things that's most appealing to me about them, and they're usually really well performing. Okay. Number 4 is down here at the bottom with the little snowman. Smokey Tobacco. Okay. It says scented. I don't know if that is an appealing smell to me. Maybe they were going for like wood stove or like, you know, fireplace type scents. So I expect this to be a, I don't know. I don't know that I know what tobacco really smells like. I mean, I'm allergic to like cigarette smoke, so I know what that smells like, and I'm hoping it's not that. But my uncle used to smoke a pipe, and that didn't bother me as much. And he used to smoke, what was it? It was like apple scented or something, tobacco, and that one just always seems cozy to me. So whenever I smell it when I'm out and about, which isn't very often, it makes me think of him. All right. Moment of truth. Let's see what it smells like. Now, for the most part, I'm not a big fan of the scented inks. It makes me... Okay, it doesn't bring me like smoky like I thought it might. It gives me like acrylic paint vibes. Honestly, like if you've ever been in a kid's classroom and are working with like the finger paints, it gives me that smell, which is interesting. Maybe it's my nose. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you guys think it smells like. Because I'm sure it's not supposed to smell like finger paint. Now, the color, I think, is a nice color, especially if you like browns. Now, I wanted to match these two inks that I currently have because that's one thing I really enjoy doing. However, with so many inks, that it would just make the video too long. But I might do like something on my Instagram. I haven't decided because I'm still gonna do it, just not on this video. I don't know. Let me know if that's something you guys would be interested in seeing, and maybe I'll figure out how to do it. Yeah, I like that color. It makes me think of, I think it's slightly darker, but Leonard Toolbar's sesame oil, or is it sesame seed oil? Something like that. It's a really nice brown that I just got. But I think that's a really nice base color. Day 5 is over here with our snowflakes. Ooh. Mary's Rose. So I'm thinking, since it is an advent calendar, Mary, like Mother of God Mary? Maybe? I don't know. What do you guys think? Is there another Mary that I should think of? I don't know. And it looks like it's going to be more of a gold than a brown, but we'll have to see. Okay. So I like the really nice label. So I'm thinking maybe a yellow brown. It says it's a standard ink this time. So let's see what we get. Oh, a light. Yeah, like a golden brown. That's a really nice color as well. So this one is, I don't get the rose aspect though. This, I don't know. Or Marie? Is it Marie M-A-R-I-E. Marie, so not Mary. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I don't get it. That's okay. I don't have to get it. Day 5, standard. Day 6 is up in a tree with a little bird. Now, I will say that unlike the Colorverse Advent that I did, which if you guys missed that, I'll link it up above, there doesn't seem to be a significance in the placement unless I'm missing it. Where that one, there actually was a correlation, I think, in where they put all the inks. Ah! Okay, so we have kind of a tealish label again. Sorry how they're super shiny, so I think it's hard for my camera to figure out how to focus on them. But this one is called Fir and Fog, and it's a chameleon ink. So I can see it through the bottle a little bit, where chameleon inks are inks that I think they usually have 2 colors of shimmer. So as you're looking at it from one angle to the next, they tend to change colors kind of like a chameleon would out in the wild. So I find them really interesting and really fun to work with. Oh, it's a nice green. So that doesn't really feel like it matches the label so much. The other ones I felt like did, but this seems more green than like that tealish tone. So Fir and Fog. Interesting name though. So this is day 6. That's a beautiful shimmer. I know some of it is green because that's the color I'm getting from this angle. So I'm interested to see what the secondary color will be. Day 7 is, hold on, let me find it. Down here at the bottom, it's a Candy King. Okay. So it says blush, so I assume a pink color. So blush is a standard ink. So let's see how light this is, because I'm expecting a light pink, which would make sense with the name of the ink. Okay, more red than I thought, at least initially going down. Makes me think of watermelon almost. So blush, day 7. And our line. Oh, I forgot to put standard there, didn't I? I forgot to do that one too. Yeah, that one's interesting. I don't know if I like that one or not, but sometimes the ones that I'm like, I don't know if I like that, I end up using a lot. For me, it's all about matching other things, and sometimes they do a really good job of that. Next, we have day 8, which is here in the center. I really like this part of the design. Ooh, like a really deep purple maybe. It says Dream Catcher, and it says Extreme Sheen. So I like the sheens. I'm not sure how I feel about the extreme sheens. Like, I've enjoyed playing around with the ones from last year a little bit. I don't know if I would buy a full bottle of them, because with the extreme sheens, a lot of times you don't even see the base color. And I feel like sometimes that defeats the purpose almost of the base color. I don't know. What's your guys' thoughts on these extreme sheens? I think they're pretty. It almost looks black going down. Like, I can tell it's blue in some places, but mostly it looks black. And this is Dreamcatcher. like last year, the ink names were much more Christmassy. What do you guys think? Day 8, and this was Extreme Sheen. I can see that sheen is coming out. I can't quite tell you what color it is. It almost looks purple or red. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. That's what close-ups at the end are for. On to day 9, which is over here by the snowflakes. I love me a snowflake. Ooh, okay. Bittersweet, and it has a green label, and it says standard. It would be fun to have some dual shading inks. I don't know if they have those. Anybody know if Diamine makes dual shading inks? Maybe that's what we should get next year. I need to go back and look at all of the ink names they've done prior, because that might be fun. Now, I do find it interesting that when you look at the fine print for the calendar, it does say that all of these are going to be new inks to their lineup, or inks that they don't currently have. And the wording of not currently have makes me think that, are they bringing back some inks that they've used before but are not currently out in production? I don't know. What do you guys think? Okay, this is a very light, just a nice light green. So this was Bittersweet. See, this seems more like fresh pine or something to me. I don't know. And this is day 8, or no, day 9, sorry. Standard. Okay, I think the last ink for this page is going to be day 10, which is down here at the bottom in this corner, kind of by the base of the tree. Looks like it's going to be purple. I think it says nostalgia, but ooh, I can see shimmer, so I know we have at least shimmer. What does it say? Chameleon. It reminds me of the way Pink Squirrel looks inside the container, so we'll have to see. Very murky. I can see bits of red shimmer. But I'm not sure what to call the base, if it's brown, black, gray, maybe gray. Okay, this is day 10. Oh, maybe it's not red shimmer, it's bright pink. Interesting. Day 11 is right here in the middle. The name of this one is funny to me. Brrr. That's usually how I'm feeling about February. This might be my favorite name ever for an ink, honestly. I don't know that it tells me anything about the ink. I mean, I do think blue, which it does appear to be a blue. Maybe a light blue? I'm not sure. And oh, it says pigment shimmer. All right, question for you people who know about pigment inks more than I do. So like shimmer, am I supposed to kind of rotate it and make sure everything's integrated? Does it separate? Because I can't tell that it's separated in there. Like with the shimmer, you can kind of see it on the sides, but I don't know about pigment inks. We'll see if I rotated it enough for shimmer. I'm not sure. So I'm going to leave myself some room just in case. Oh, I do see shimmer in it. Okay, good. Ooh, I like this color. This is a pretty color. Like, I really like this color. I like the name. I like the color. I like this ink. So this one is Brrr with 3 R's and an exclamation point. Is the exclamation point part of the name? What do you guys think? So this is day 11. And it is a pigment, oops, shimmer. Yeah, I really like that color. So far, out of all the colors we've swatched, this is definitely my favorite one. Day one's pretty cool too, though. I mean, I have to admit, those are the two that are sticking out so far in my recollection. On to day 12, where are you? Down here at the bottom, in the snow. Bubbly. Okay. Oh, definitely shimmer. It does say shimmer. It looks like it's going to be similar to, what was it? Marie Rose. Kind of that like light brownish color, maybe golden. Okay, Bubbly. So we're dealing with a shimmer. Bubbly makes me think champagne, right? And champagne's kind of that golden color, I think. I've had it like once, maybe. Didn't really care for it, honestly. I had it for a toast at a wedding, but I'm not like an alcohol type person, so maybe it's just me. Definitely getting golden vibes though. So, and I do like the name. B-U-B-B. Oh, there is an L. I was like, did I miss an L? Is it something else? So this is day 12. And I think you just said shimmer. Yes. With as much shimmer as in this, maybe this would be a Star Bright and they just didn't use the label this year. I don't know. What do you guys think? Because it's definitely a very heavy shimmer load. Day 13 is over here on the side. I feel like this one is harder to open than the Color Vent one was. Okay. Looks like another blue. And this is Molten Basil? B-A-S-A-L-T? It's a standard again. I feel like we're getting more standards than we did last year. I could be wrong though. I don't remember how many standards we got last year. It does look like it's going to be a nice deep blue. Goes down looking pretty much black. Like there's blue around the edges. So M-O-L-T. E-R. Molter? I don't know how to say this one. And I'm sure I am saying it wrong. B-A-S-A-L-T. Basalt? Molter Basalt? I'm going to have to look that one up. Sometimes the names, like there was one last year that I had to look up and it ended up being like a certain kind of cake or something. So this is day 13, standard. I don't know. This one might have sheen to it. Like, this is looking sheeny to me. I know there was one last year that was marked as standard, but actually ended up being a sheening ink. So take that for what it is. We'll definitely be taking a really close look at that one at the end. Day 14, the end of week 2 is up here in the corner. Mittens. Okay, winter. Oh, very, very big. Ooh. All right, this is a pigment ink. I'm a little scared of this one. I am definitely not a pink girl. I mean, I like this pink, but like on my nails only. And that's only been like recently that I've been like, okay, I'm okay with some shades of pink. I think part of it is as a kid, I liked pink a lot. And my parents would make fun of me for it because I had red hair and I'd try to wear pink things and they'd be like, no, you look horrible. Oh, very, very bright pink, like Pepto-Bismol. I cannot see myself using this one, but maybe. There was one last year where I had the same reaction. It was, oh, lemon lime, because it was just so bright. But that's kind of part of the fun with these type of calendars, is that you're gonna get something you like. At least that's my opinion. Like, if you like the general type of inks that company makes, you're gonna find things you like. But there's also gonna be items that'll push you outside your comfort zone. And even though I am not a big fan of the lemon lime ink from last year, I have used it for very specific things. It's not something that I'm gonna necessarily ink up in a pen, but if I'm doing something like an art project or something, I might use it. So yeah, that's Mittens. Very, very pink. Day 15 is over on the edge over here. Another blue. Frostbite. And it's a shimmer. So I'm intrigued by this one as well. So definitely a very, very dark color. Oops. Day 15. And I think it just said shimmer. Yes. This one feels like it has like that micro shimmer, and I think it's the same or almost the same color as the ink itself, kind of like what we had with Brrr. I think I'm gonna enjoy, well, no, I'm gonna like Brrr more, but this is a nice like standard color. Everybody needs a nice deep blue with a little pizzazz. 16 is along the tree trunk on the side. Ooh, I like the label. It's a very deep red. I prefer those to like the bright reds usually. I think a lot of people do. Although Wearingle's Captain Hook is definitely like one of my favorite reds ever. It flows so easy. It just looks beautiful on the page. It has this brown color that comes out. Yeah, I think I like the color of the label. Oh, it says it's a chameleon. Oh, I wonder. So Dominant Industries, I was looking yesterday, and I don't know if it's new, but they have a color called Christmas Red that is like a red with, I can't remember if it's red or gold shimmer. I think it's gold that I was thinking about getting. I wonder if this will be similar. Oh, that's a nice deep red. That is a pretty red. I like that. Okay, what did we call this one? Ruby Taffeta, maybe? So Ruby and Taffeta. Oh, that shimmer is really pretty. Day 16. I think this one, oh, it was Camellia, not just shimmer. Day 17 is up here at the top. Ooh, another purple. This is a much lighter purple. It says Gala, and it looks like it's going to be another standard. Oh, nice bright purple. It's a very light color. So this one is Gala, G-A-L-A, and day 17, standard. Oh, I wonder if this one, so I'm seeing some different shades in here, so it looks more of like a lighter blue, or not a blue, a lighter purple here and more of a pinky purple in here. We'll see if that stays true as it dries, or if that's just the difference between the wet and the dry. Day 18 is over here on the other side. Ooh, that looks like it's going to be a really nice green. Laurel? Okay. Extreme Sheen. Expecting it to at least go down green. We'll see what happens after that. Very, very dark green. Laurel. Day 18. Extreme Sheen. It's a very, very deep green. Can't quite tell what color the sheen is going to be. Maybe red, but I'm not sure. Day 19 is over here on this side. It's our last door on that side. Overcast. This is an ink made for Michigan. I swear, we're overcast more than we're not. Especially in the months from, I'll say, October through April. Pretty much every day is either rain, overcast, or partly sunny. Occasionally we get a sunny day in there, but most of the time. Although I hear London gets a lot of that too, and they are an English-based company. I think they're out of Liverpool. I don't know how far that is from London. Oh. Okay, it reminds me of like Celadon Cat. I think that's the name of it. Maybe a little bit more blue to it. This will definitely be a color that I know I'll use. And it's just a standard ink. I feel like we're getting more standards than we have in the past, but I don't know if that's me. On to day 20, over here on the side, Ambience. For a second there, I thought it said ambulance, but no, Ambience. Yes, dealing with my mother, I might need an ambulance afterwards for the holiday season to take me to the loony bin. I love my family, I do. But there are times, right? I mean, it is red. It appears shimmer. That could be like flashing lights, right? Anyhow, my sense of humor. Sorry. Oh, this looks like it's going to be kind of interesting. I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. Yeah, I'm not sure what to think. I'm not huge on the color of the label, but the ink looks to be, you know, it's not an exact replica of what the ink's going to be. So let's see. And this is a chameleon ink. Oh, very orange. It makes me think of last year's fruit cocktail with glitter. No! Fruit cocktail was another one that I was not a fan of. But that was a scented ink last year. So this is day 20, and you are a chameleon. I think that's what you said, right? Yes. It definitely has a lot of shimmer. Yeah, we'll see. But I'm going to rename this one to Ambulance. I'm not sure everybody would appreciate that, though. What did you get in your advent calendar? An ambulance. Okay, day 21. Down here. Chaos. Okay, after the ambience, not ambulance, we get chaos. Okay, I like that. That's fitting. That's really what the holidays are. Complete and total chaos. All right, was the person who... Somebody needs to check on the person who was doing the advent calendar. Are they okay? Asking for a friend. Because I feel like their holiday season may not have gone well last year. Okay, this looks like it's going to be a really deep purple and is extreme sheen. So I'm thinking purple and black, maybe? I hope we get to see the undertone purple, because it kind of reminds me of the one I was telling you about that I didn't know what the name meant, and it ended up being some kind of cake. It was one of the scented inks last year. Very, very deep purple. I don't know, that feels appropriate for chaos. Day 21. I don't know, what color do you guys associate with chaos? I'm curious. I don't know that I associate a color. I'm trying to think. Purple seems solid as a choice for that. But I don't know what color sheen would go in that. Maybe multiple colors? Something that can't make up its mind? I'm getting green vibes, but I don't know if it's the angle and the wetness. Day 22 is at the top. This is our last top row ink. Ooh, that's very bright. That's like definitely a gold. So pineapple spritz. Spritzer or spritz. And this is a pigmented chameleon. So definitely a very, very yellow with some shimmer in there. So is it spritz or spritzer? Are spirits? S-P-R-I-T-S. But the S looks like it's weird. Maybe it's a Y and not an S? Sometimes the cursive gets me. But, so are we talking a pineapple drink? Well, they have to exist. Or are we talking like, so pineapple, I know that in like Regency era England, it was a big deal to have a pineapple for Christmas. Is it still? Do they still do that? Does anyone do that? I'm curious. It's definitely not an American thing, although I think there are a lot, well, at least not as far as I know. Maybe it is and I just don't know. I like this yellow. This is a very bright and sunny yellow, and I feel like it would lend itself to a lot of things. I don't know that I would use it as like an everyday writer, but I think it's a Z. No, why? Why? Okay. Day 22. But yeah, I can't see myself using it as an I can't see myself using it as an everyday writer, but I can see myself using it for specific things. Especially if I use it in a like art context, which I think a lot of the pigment inks, that's really who they're kind of meant for, at least traditionally, is more art type things. Of course, I could be wrong. That's my perception. Day 23 is down here at the bottom. Only a few more to go. We have another blue, a light blue. Oh, let it snow. And we're a chameleon again. This feels like, because I live near Ann Arbor, so it feels very much like a Michigan color. Oh, that's a very nice blue. If this was more of a deep blue and the two next to each other, it would definitely be Michigan colors. And this is day 23. And you are a chameleon. A lot of chameleon this year, I think. Yeah, I like this one too. Day 24, our last small bottle of ink is Antlers. Okay, so I'm expecting a brown, although the label is not brown, and it says it's a pigment ink. Oh, it is brown. The label had me concerned. Although not like a super deep brown, more of like a warm brown. And it's only one antler, it's not antlers. Just, you know, letting you know. 24. And pigment. And our final day, day 25. Okay, I think, hold on. The color on the label does match the Inkvent calendar. So confirmation on that. Ooh, that's a really bright blue sheen. Okay, this is going to be a cool ink. And this is a shimmer and sheen. So it's going to have all the things. Very deep blue, at least as your own. I wonder if the teal is going to be the sheen. I don't think I've seen a teal sheen. So this is called, hold on, Myrh, M-Y-R, H, the Merier, M-E-R, goes on the corner, sorry guys, M-E-R-I-E-R. Okay. And this is day 25. And this was Sheen and Shimmer. All right, now that everything is dried, let's take a closer look at these colors. The first one here was day 1. It's labeled as a shimmer. It is not just a shimmer. It is a shimmer and sheen. It has a red sheen to it, gold shimmer, and a beautiful teal color underneath. Like I said, it kind of reminds me of Emerald of Chivor. I haven't pulled that out to put them next to each other though. So really love day 1. Day 2 energy is a bright purple with kind of a murky green sheen. This one I'm less impressed with for the sheen quality. So it's there. Usually I think of sheen as having a metallic. This is a matte sheen, but is very obviously a sheen with a different color. So, I mean, it's not horrible. I don't love it, if that makes sense. But that was day 2. Day 3 was a pigment ink that's very like an orangey red called Carousel. This one I don't mind. I don't know how often I'll use it, but I do like the ink overall. Day 4 was our only scented ink with Smokey Tobacco. I do like kind of the shading you get with it. Didn't care for the smell, but it doesn't hang around. So like I can't smell it just sitting here, so it's not going to bother me. And I think it didn't do the feathering that I've seen in previous years, so I'm hopeful for that aspect. Marie Rose is kind of a blah color for me. This is like taupe, and I'm not a big fan of it. It's fine. It's just nothing spectacular. I don't really see a ton of shading. There's a little bit there, but really it's just this base color. It's kind of, if you're doing art stuff, it reminds me of like a skin tone. Fir and Fog is a chameleon. I really liked this one. I like the base color, which is kind of this blue-green color. And then the shimmer on top is kind of it looks, in the camera, it looks teal there, and to me it looks pink. Let's see if I can get the pink to show up. I don't know if I can. It can be challenging with the camera. Oh, I think I got it there. So chameleon inks are just going to shade 2 different colors, and there it almost looks green. So really like that one. Next we have blush. It seems a little bit more red than I would think of for blush. But when you're talking about flowers and the blush of the flower, I think it could work in that aspect. When it went down, it kind of gave me that watermelon type color, but it is kind of mellowed out as it dries. And as far as shading, there might be a little bit in there, but mostly it's just a standard color. Then we have Dream Capture, which reminds me so much of the big bottle that we got last year. That was a black ink with a black sheen. And because it is an extreme sheen, and I think the sheen is black, if it's not black, it's a very, very dark color. And all you see is that. And there's no underlying color to pop through, even though I know there is an underlying color there. I wonder how that works out on other people's paper. So that one, I mean, it's okay. I'm not like writing home about it though. Next we have Bittersweet, which ended up being this really mellow green. It reminds me of Mint Twist from last year, only without the shimmer. And that one's okay. I mean, I'm not going to write home about that one. And then we have Day 10, which is Nostalgia. And I actually really like this one. I wasn't sure what I thought about it as I was putting it down. It's a chameleon ink. It has kind of a grayish purple undertone. And then you have, in the camera, it looks pink, and to me right now, it looks gold. So you definitely have that versatility in color. And I do think this one looks really interesting, and I think I'm going to enjoy playing around with this one a little bit. Next, we have Brrr. This is probably one of my favorite colors of the whole calendar, this and the one below it. So Brrr is this really beautiful like blue color, and then it is a pigmented shimmer, so it's very saturated, and it has this really pretty lighter blue shimmer to it, which is amazing. Next, we have Bubbly, which I really like this one as well. It's gold, but it's not like in your face gold, and it's just a shimmer. So you have that base tone and then the shimmer on top. There were some inks that I got earlier in the year that were pigment inks, and I didn't realize they were pigment inks when I ordered the samples. And this looks very similar to one of those metallic colors that I had gotten. It was like a Myrh series or something. And I like this even better, and it gives me the ability to have that, but it's still very legible. Now we have Molter Basalt. I'm really not sure on this name. This one was supposed to be a standard. It is not. You do have a sheen to it. So it's kind of a brownish, sheen. It's kind of interesting, but not like spectacular again. But not every ink is going to be spectacular, so I'm okay with that. I like these inks. I like the variety. Next, we have Mittens, which is a very pigmented, I'll call it Pepto-Bismol pink, because it's like that type of pink. It's kind of got a neon quality to it. It's very pigmented. It's going to pop off the page. If you're a pink person, my guess would be that you will love that ink. I'm not a pink person, but I don't hate it. Next, we have another ink I really enjoyed, which was Frostbite. This is a shimmer, so it has a blue tone, and then the shimmer is kind of a pinkish color. So I really like that one. I like the amount of shimmer in it. It just seems really beautiful. And same for the one underneath of it, which is Ruby Taffeta, which is a chameleon ink. So it has this really beautiful red tone. And from here, it kind of looks silvery. And then as I move the paper, it looks kind of pink there. And I think there was a spot where it looked gold as well. Not entirely sure how they do that, but I think it's really cool. Next, we have Gala, which is just a standard purple ink. I know I've seen this shade before. I might even have like a J. Herbin ink that is very similar. I like it, but again, nothing that seems groundbreaking. Laurel is another one of the extreme sheens. I do like that I'm able to see at least a little bit of the base color here. And then the sheen, I think, is a reddish hue. So I like the idea of red and green together. Kind of wish it was a regular sheen and not an extreme sheen, so you could have more of that color play together for Christmas. But it's kind of cool ink, and I like sheens. Overcast is probably my favorite standard ink. I really like this color. I think it's different enough from Celadon Cat that it's really showing its versatility. I think this is a color that's going to go with a lot of things, and I just generally like this shade of blue, so I'm happy about that one. Then we have Ambience, which I think is a pink, but sometimes it looks like it's more orange, so I'm not really sure what color category to put this one in. It's a chameleon ink with a really nice shimmer. And this is one of the inks that I'm not sure how I feel about it. Like, there's part of me that likes it, and there's part of me that's like, I'm not sure. And then we have Chaos, which is another extreme sheen. I kind of wish they had gone for another sheen combination, because we already have a purple-green combination inside the calendar, but they are different shades, and this is more of a metallic sheen where the other one was very muted, and the purple is super dark. So I don't love it, I don't hate it. I wish we had more versatility. I think this one will be fun for like this time of year, Halloween and such. And then we have pineapple spritzer, I think. And this one I really like. Now, I'm not normally a yellow ink type person. I find this one easier to read than other ones. I like the shimmer quality. It makes me think of gold, and I can see using it in very specific circumstances, and I like having it in my arsenal. Next was Let It Snow. Again, a very pretty blue with a chameleon shimmer to it. This one is, I think it's just shades of blue, it feels like. Maybe a little bit of silver, but that's what I'm getting from the chameleon. It almost feels like I'm not getting a lot of variation in this one, so I'm not sure if it's like, it's not as chameleon as some of the other ones. Then Day 24 is a pigment ink with Antler. This is a really nice brown, and I love how it's shaded in here. I think this one's going to be really fun to use. And it is a pigment ink, so it's, again, that really saturated color. And then our last day was a Sheen and Shimmer, Myrh the Merier, I think is the name. And this one is a nice solid blue with a little bit of a red sheen and blue shimmer. It's a very nice ink. I feel like I've seen the combination before, but I really like it. Now that we've talked about each color individually, let's talk about the calendar as a whole. As far as variety goes, I think we had a nice variety as far as colors go and types of ink. Like I said, there were 10 different categories of ink that we could get. So here's the breakdown as far as what types of ink we had. We have 5 standards, 2 sheens, 3 extreme sheens, 1 scented, 2 shimmer and sheens, 5 chameleon, 3 pigmented, 1 pigmented with shimmer, and 1 pigment chameleon. Now, there were 2 inks that I felt were labeled wrong, so I counted them in the categories that I would put them in, like Celestial Skies was counted as just a shimmer, and I put it with shimmer and sheen because it does have a red sheen. And the other one was Day 13, which is Molter, that name that I'm like very confused on. And this one I feel like has a very definite brownish sheen to it, so I counted that with my sheens. As far as color breakdown, and a little bit of this is subjective because there were a couple colors I wasn't sure where to put them. So generally speaking, we have 7 blues, 2 greens, 2 teals, 3 purples, 1 yellow, 1 gold, 3 pinks, although that might be 2 pinks and a orange depending on how you count Ambience, 1 gray, 3 browns, and 2 reds. So overall, I think it's a good variety in both of those aspects. And from that point of view, I really like it. I do wish there were a couple of areas where we saw a little bit more versatility. So I feel like, and I pointed it out when we were going through, that we have a red and green sheen combination here. So I wish they hadn't done it again at the end. They are very different inks. They look very different, but I feel like there's a lot there. I also feel like we maybe should have gotten a few more teals if it was the teal calendar. We've only really got 2. They are beautiful and I love them, but I would have liked to seen a couple more, maybe a few less blues, although we have a lot of variety there in color. So I would have liked to seen maybe another red, maybe another green instead of quite so many blues. But overall, I really like the calendar. Don't get me wrong. These are nitpicky critiques and everything. As far as value goes, so you get about 318 milliliters of ink in the calendar, which is slightly less than you get for the Colorverse, but you also pay less. So when I worked out the math to try and figure out how much are you really spending per milliliter? Because we do have varying sizes and bottles, it came out to be about 38 cents a milliliter. And when I did the math on that compared to their standard inks and their standard bottles that they send out for, because these will come to full bottles sometime during the year. So when I did the calculations on that, their inks generally run between 30 and 48 cents a milliliter. So I think cost-wise and value-wise, it's a good deal. And I think they're really nice quality inks. I've rarely had problems with this brand of inks. There are some brands that I'm kind of not so fond of, but this is a brand that I feel like always brings it to the table, and their inks are always good and functional and dependable. So I think overall this would be a calendar I would definitely recommend, especially if you're somebody getting into the hobby and want to try out different things and figure out what you like and what you don't like. This is a great way to do it. So those are my overall thoughts on the calendar. I'm really happy I got it. I'm excited about some of these colors. I can't wait to use them. That's all that I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And let me know what you think about this year's Inkvent. Did you like it? Were you a little disappointed? What were your thoughts overall? And do you have a favorite ink? I think mine might actually be Celestial Skies, but I'm not positive yet. There's a lot of good ones in here. Anyhow, that's everything for today. And until next time, I'll see you real soon.